10 soldiers, led by a leader, can easily defeat 100 soldiers without a leader. This is said by the great Greek scholar Euripides. Fellow Toastmasters, 1971, Pakistan was shivering because the East Pakistan was already surrendered to India. And the president of West Pakistan, Ayub Khan, was so nervous. He summoned General Tika Khan and he said, let's plan what will happen the next course of action of the war. General Tika Khan said, we will go offensive on India. We will attack Rajasthan. We will capture a big portion of Rajasthan and use as a bargaining chips. By having a large infantry brigade of 2,000 standing soldiers, 50 armored tanks, we will have a great chance of victory. The copacetic decision was taken by the President Ayub Khan. He gave an order for the attack. Meanwhile, in India, Longewala is a small village at the border in Rajasthan. It is covered completely with sand. It had high doom post, not to be seen by any ground vehicles. It comes under Punjab regiment, led by Major Kuldeep Singh Chalpuri, the son of border movie. He had just 120 standing soldiers, just 120 standing soldiers with no big artilleries. They had very few semi-automatic submachine guns, very few of them, and some L16 81mm mortar launcher, very few. And he had only one jeep-mounted recoilless rifle. Along with this, he had 5 camel-mounted BSF Jawans, our Shuli Shetty, okay, the team, and nothing, 3 layers of barbed wires around the post. Sudden attack on 3rd December night, Pakistani Air Force, they bombarded all the villages across the border of India. But our Major Kuldeep Singh sensed something fishy with our enemy. He sent Lieutenant Dharamveer, the Akshay Khanna, to go and patrol the areas, border areas. And the Lieutenant Dharamveer were patrolling across the border. Then he heard some noises coming across the border. He saw a big infantry of Pakistan army approaching India towards Longewala. He immediately called up Major Kuldeep Singh that this is what we are seeing. Immediately Major Kuldeep Singh called up his battalion headquarters. He told, we need reinforcement. But the battalion headquarters said that reinforcement takes 17 hours to come. And air attack is not possible because night time there is no landing and takeoff facility. But Major Kuldeep Singh stood his ground and said, we will defend this post at any cost. But the headquarters ordered them to retreat back. He didn't. Major Kuldeep said, we will defend this post at any cost. Fellow Toastmasters, do you think Major Kuldeep Singh did some heroics? Jeopardizing his life, his fellow soldiers' life? Did he? Yes. No, because they know their territory very well than their enemy. Night 12:30 December, post, a full infantry was approaching Longewala post and our soldiers were laying down anti-tank mines. Immediately one of the tank fired, the motor came, doom! It was a blast, one of our soldiers died. But none of the other soldiers gave up the hope. They went to their positions, held it, and patiently waiting for the enemy to come closer. Very unlucky to our enemy, they didn't know the territory. All the tanks and the trucks started sinking into the sand. So it was very difficult for them to maneuver or get into for the attack, quick attack. So they stuck. But still they had found a big plain in front of them. They thought it is full of mines. So they started searching for mine. It took them 3 hours and found none. This gave very good amount of time for Indian soldiers to know what the enemy is and how big it is, and they're aiming each and everything. When they approached towards post, they found a big barbed wire they couldn't cross, and they were sitting ducks for our Indian soldiers. Indian soldiers started firing discriminately, and they were able to destroy 12 tanks on the ground by finding out where the weakness and how to utilize the weakness. Pakistani tank, when it gets elevated, the upper armor was very weak. The joint between upper and lower was very weak. They shot at it, they damaged it, and made sure it doesn't move. 12 tanks, and ground people destroying 12 tanks and too many number of soldiers is a great achievement. By the time sun came up, the first wave of Air Force, Indian Air Force Hawkers came, they bombarded the entire Pakistani attack. Within few hours, we Indians stopped the first attack of Pakistan in Longewala. Yes, we have won. We have won that war. We stopped the attack. But it costed 2 soldiers from our side. And that jeep-mounted recoilless rifle which I showed was destroyed. The Pakistanis were running behind. They're retreating back to their country, abandoned their armories, the tanks, which is laying down still in Thar Desert till now as a monument of our victory. Fellow Toastmasters, a determined, courageous Major Kuldeep Singh led just a few soldiers against an outnumbered enemy and defeated successfully. Let's learn from our soldiers how discipline, plan and execution can overcome any hurdles and we can achieve any goals. Let's salute these soldiers who are giving their today for our tomorrow. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Naveen. That was an astounding briefing of the war that happened back then. Now, I invite the next segment today is the humorous speech by